Well, a lot of you have seen the trailer for The Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2, and if you read the book, you probably didn't like it. I'm not going to spoil it here, but, well, the trailer spoils enough,
Yes,
I would
exactly.
say. So we have also the Maze Runner, the Scorch Trials, just debuted, and of course we have the next movie in the Divergent series, Allegiant. And, you know, we have some past movies such as Ender's Game and The Giver, all falling into this cinematic young adult dystopian end of the world situation. And what I'm wondering is this over? Is the post-apocalypse over in terms of movies?
Okay, so this is where I'm a little bit, I would say, skewed in one direction because I was a sociology major in school, and a lot of the books that I would read and often do case studies on.
I thought you were an engineer.
I was before I came to America, but I did study in America.
Okay.
So that was before. I'm a man of many trades. You'll figure this out. many different areas of interest. But sociology, and from a sociological standpoint, these movies are always of interest to me because how they're trying to portray, I would say, modern day problems that we face in society, but a difference of classes through the most extreme situations. And that's when you look at early authors that would always do examples of this. I'm blanking right now, but there's many books that you could read that haven't been turned into movies like this that are often unique in portraying post-apocalyptic universe, how the classes would mix, how they would always...
There's certain tropes, though, that I feel are very consistent throughout these movies. And then we have, as I mentioned, Ender's Game and The Giver. When I read these books as a child, I really did not... Maybe it's just me on a personal level being wrong, but I did not imagine them as being this dystopian, you know, world that's like this clean slate design, you know, aesthetic, and then it just became this way. That is certainly not what I imagined when I read the book. I feel that it was cut to fit this mold that has become very popular. Because a lot of times what we see is, you know, when the first Hunger Games movie came out, it was incredible. It blew people's minds away. They were like, this is amazing. We have to do... Well, not we, but maybe the movie industry was like, we may need to do more now.
Yeah,
and then we saw all these other movies coming. We saw The Mortal Instruments, City of Bones. We saw all of these, you know, kind of failed to launch trilogies, I would say, or franchises. And it's just, is it just a trend? And is this trend?
It is a trend, and it's because there's a couple of things about it. It's because it attracts a young audience, right? It attracts a young audience, and perhaps for some, I would be naive if I was to say that everyone who went to see these movies came up with I would say, would encapture what the author wrote first. I think more of them are just going to see their young stars and see them portray a very cool storyline, whereas when the authors of the Hunger Games and Divergent series wrote those books, they're trying to portray this sociological image that's trying to convey modern day problems through the most ridiculous circumstances. I don't think young 12-year-olds, 13-year-olds are going to these movies and thinking, wow, maybe this actually represents the difference in classes in the United States today. I don't think that is the case, but the more these movies do come out and the more they do represent this, I think it can only be a positive in terms of as we start to get older as a society, more people will start to understand that. But I do think that there's going to be a point where you're just making the exact same movie with the most ridiculous circumstances.
It's like there's this magic girl who is against the system. She's going to lead the revolution. Unless it's the Maze Runner, it's a boy.
Yeah, but do you not think that, is this not what attracts you to like for instance, when I first started watching The Walking Dead, this is a storyline that I knew I was going to talk about The Walking Dead at some point, because I do hate when people turn around about The Walking Dead and be like, another stupid zombie apocalypse. I hate it.
That's the first major, huge smash hit zombie apocalypse, I would say.
Exactly,
and then we saw all these other zombie things come out.
Yeah, but what I liked about The Walking Dead is that mesh of different backgrounds, different cultures, and how without your boundaries, without your safeguard of money and politics and everything else, how does the world react? How does it react in a basically an environment that you're not used to? That's a concept that I do love, especially when you're surrounded every day by constraints through the classes. Movies that do represent that, I think, are good, but I just don't want it to get to the point that they're making these movies just to continue to make money, just to continue to jump on this trend. I think that it's getting to that stage, but that's why you can't be making movies solely on that. That's why I think we need to continue to inspire authors to write books on this, and then obviously if you can do a good job in encapsulating that in a movie, then so be it.
Or you can write Twilight fan fiction.
Oh, I can't wait for that.
And become a billionaire. I would not. But you have a point where these original ideas, they were great. They were something that began as, this great idea that makes us reflect on society and ourselves and what we would do and what we have inside of us. And then it kind of, became a cash machine, I would say.
Yes.
Audience, do you think the dystopian trend is over? Do you follow Dystopian YA on Twitter for great ideas? Let us know below in the comments, and please subscribe for more.